Hi, Mohammed. It's Chester here, and I'm using a screencasting service that allows me to provide feedback to you directly this way. Sometimes it's really helpful when students get this kind of feedback from me because they can see me move my mouse and they can sort of see what I'm talking about. And sometimes when it's not possible, especially with COVID, for me to provide in-person feedback, this is one way that I can give feedback. And students generally are responsive to it, so this is great. All right, so I thought I would give you some feedback regarding your paper. And first off, I want to say congratulations. This paper is fantastic. I've never seen your writing before, and so your writing was just excellent. And just so you understand what I'm looking for, or what I was looking for, I have been a peer reviewer for a number of articles. I've also written a textbook, and so I've gone through that editing process. But this I was looking for. I want to try to provide you feedback on the academic paper as it relates to the content, that there is a clear focus on the research problem under investigation and that your word choice is precise. And so I considered your thesis statement, I considered that it demonstrates clearly the author's understanding of the subject that's being researched. I did look at some kind of grammar and maybe some structural pieces, but that wasn't the main focus. What I did do was, if there was a dramatic error in grammar or structured where it got in the way of understanding the paper, I made some sort of comments regarding that. So let's get right into it. So I noticed with your title, you have this as your title, Chakia. I'm not sure exactly how it's pronounced, but then you have it here spelled a little bit differently. So I'm not sure what that means. That does cause some confusion to the reader, and so I'm not sure if that's just a derivative of that, or if that was deliberate, or if that was just an error. So I thought that the paper was really well developed from beginning to the end. The article is well formatted with the correct in-text citations and references. The quotations used are well structured and they are adequate. The general outlook is really good, and the word choice is perfect from an academic paper standpoint. I can also comment on your font and style. The indents are well utilized. The abstract is elaborate and touches on all of the information discussed throughout the paper. It also gives good background information. It is short and precise with the correct word choices. The introduction is well developed from the start. It does lay the topic question, it gives the background information, and it has a well-developed thesis. There's a need of having the possible research methods because it's a research topic, and so maybe that's something to sort of consider as well. So going back up to your thesis statement, I thought it was well developed as it is required. It does give the reader, like myself, expectations from the paper, and it provides the writer's standpoint, or the stand, and answers questions under the research that is really generally needed. The body I thought was well developed with paragraphs that have very specific information of each. The body title is also well structured. It's really well understood. The body starts by giving the author's background information, which I think is crucial to writing narrowed down to the research question. I think what's particularly unclear to me is this part right here where we're talking about the double critique. And so it looks a little shallow, and thus it's not understood in this context. The topic's background is well elaborated as, all the questions are required, but I'm not so sure about this. This perhaps needs a little bit more explanation. And maybe I can give you an example. I mean, the information that you provided here regarding the double critique is a little shallow. If one reads it, for instance, without being keen, then they will simply not understand. So you should say the paper does double critique, which entails assessing the topic in the protagonist's home and also abroad, instead of him and others, as you had said. So, I thought your paper was well written otherwise. Again, I had never seen your writing before, and so it is really elaborate, and it is well written. Again, specific words were chosen correctly, and I thought thoughtfully. Let's go to your conclusion. It is way down here. For your conclusion, I think it says that the paper attempted to explore ways. And so that phrase shows that you're not satisfied with the information. You may consider stating that. It's essential to add to what you have learned from the research and the critique. So I thought that is a comment that I have. Bibliography is well written, without any mistakes. It's all, linked up well with the citations all throughout the text. Generally, the paper answers the research question, and it is elaborate, and so it's got actions that were taken. So that's my comments there, Mohammed. I hope you found this really helpful. If you need a paper comment, I can certainly do that. Hopefully this link works, and hopefully you found this beneficial, as some of my students, like this sort of method of feedback. Mohammed, I hope you are well. Take care of yourself. Continue to write, and adding to the body of work that your PhD, requires. And so I welcome you to what we call here in America the Academy. The Academy is those individuals who are part of the academics, and that usually is PhDs and, folks like ourselves who do research for a living and teach as well. Congratulations, Mohammed. Great work.